Just reading aloud some reviews from the DWRG of Invasion of the Dinosaurs. From John Riordan on the 21st of the 8th, 1997, this is one of my favourite stories. Invasion of the Dinosaurs is a rare example of using the monsters as a vehicle for the plot, rather than the other way around. The dinosaurs themselves are an incidental foil to Malcolm Hulke's moving good and evil tale. I seem to remember someone saying that Hulke was the most adept of Doctor Who's writers when it came to moral ambiguity. Pity he didn't live to write for McCoy's Doctor. The villains in the story are not only evil men, but genuinely good and idealistically intentioned. Mike Yates is even willing to give his life for his co-conspirators. The story's central theme, that the most honourable intentions can have evil effects when viewed in context, is one of Doctor Who's finest. The idea that it's always better to look forward than to turn back for answers may be a little trite, but it's handled so well that you'd almost never notice. When Pertwee articulates it, it is one of his best moments ever. The 11th season is probably my favourite, with my favourite Doctor at the top of his game and everyone's favourite companion in support. For what more could I ask? And now I'll read out aloud a review by Jacob Cash. I have viewed this 6-part story a number of times and I still find myself enjoying it each viewing. The first episode, which exists in a lower quality black and white only, it has been colorized since then. Actually, is somewhat superfluous to the story, but it does manage to distract you from the real story underneath, which I'm sure is the intention. While watching this story, it's hard not to believe that it will end after episode 4. It seems the whole story has been told. At the last minute, the writer injects a new twist that keeps you hooked for the next 2 episodes. The story is never sluggish or boring, but it does suffer from the infamous Pertwee chase scene in the Venusian Aikido. The CSO effects are featured too often for their quality. Watch for a decidedly rubbery-mouthed dinosaurs. If they had used them a little less, the effect would have much more convincing, as you would have less time to notice the flaws. For fans of unit stories, this is a good one to watch, with the Brigadier and Sergeant Benton getting plenty of lines and even the occasional joke. Mike Yates also makes more than a passing appearance and is in fact integral to the story. Both John Pertwee and Elizabeth Sladen give excellent performances. In fact, the whole cast are very convincing, with wonderful characters all round. This story has quite a strong moral core, and most of this is delivered at the end, but fortunately it is countered with some humorous overtones, so that the end of the story isn't weighed down too much. While this isn't the finest example of the Pertwee era, a strong story with plenty of interest for the viewer.